In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NFL games happening on November 2nd, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New Orleans Saints versus Los Angeles Rams. 2 National Football Conference teams desperate to get back on track will meet in Los Angeles on Sunday as the New Orleans Saints travel west to face the Los Angeles Rams. Both clubs are trying to regain form after uneven starts, and each enters this matchup with something to prove. New Orleans comes off a disappointing 23-3 loss at home to Tampa Bay, where they failed to cover as a 4-point underdog. The Saints' offense sputtered throughout the afternoon, and the frustration led to a significant change under center. Los Angeles, meanwhile, had a week off to rest and prepare after crushing Jacksonville 35-7 in London on October 19th, a game in which they easily covered as a 3-point favorite. Historically, the Rams hold the edge in this series, leading the all-time regular season matchup 44-34, and they have claimed the last 2 meetings, including a 21-14 victory on December 1, 2024. The Saints have turned the page at quarterback, handing the offense to rookie Tyler Show as he makes his first career start. Spencer Rattler moves to the bench after an up-and-down stretch, and while he was not lighting up defenses, he did manage to protect the football and maintain some level of control. Show's promotion appears to be more about evaluation than immediate results, giving New Orleans a chance to see if the second-round pick can be part of their long-term plan. Based on his preseason and training camp performances, Show looked inconsistent, showing flashes of potential but also frequent lapses in decision-making. Now, the rookie faces a difficult debut on the road against a disciplined and rested Rams team. Los Angeles enters this game after consecutive blowout wins, outscoring opponents 52-10 combined before the bye. Quarterback Matthew Stafford threw 5 touchdown passes in their most recent outing, while the defense dominated in all phases. New Orleans, by comparison, has endured a miserable campaign. The Saints sit at 1-7-0, with their lone victory coming early in the year against the Giants. 4 of their last 5 losses have been by at least 12 points, reflecting deep issues on both sides of the ball. The Rams have shown they can handle weaker opponents decisively, and the current form of New Orleans suggests another steep climb ahead. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Rams to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Turning to the total, the Saints have played 8 games this season, and the under has hit 5 times. New Orleans has scored 19 points or fewer in 6 of those contests, with 4 games featuring 14 points or less. That lack of offensive production meets a Rams defense that has allowed 20 points or fewer in 5 of their 7 games, including 3 performances where opponents failed to reach double digits. Los Angeles has a 4-3-0 record to the under this season, which aligns with a defensive-minded approach. This game presents a likely scenario where the Rams build a lead and rely on the run game to drain the clock, limiting opportunities for a struggling New Orleans offense. Show's first start adds another layer of uncertainty, as he will face a defense that has surrendered only 10 total points across its last 2 outings. New Orleans managed just 3 points last week despite Rattler's solid effort, exposing the broader issues with the offensive line and receiving cores. Alvin Kamara is averaging only 3.6 yards per carry, and Chris Olave has been inconsistent with little support behind him. Los Angeles dominated Jacksonville in its last game, holding the Jaguars to 7 points and recording 7 sacks. The Rams' pass rush looks revitalized, ranking 2nd in the league in sacks, and its depth allows multiple players to contribute, with 6 different defenders registering sacks in that matchup. New Orleans has failed to reach 20 points in 5 of its last 6 games, and recent trends suggest another low-output performance ahead. The Saints have hit the under in 4 straight contests, while the Rams have done so in 3 of their last 4. Los Angeles has given up just 10 points combined to Baltimore and Jacksonville in back-to-back weeks. While Baltimore was missing Lamar Jackson, the Saints are also playing without their starting quarterback, making the comparison fair. The Rams, for their part, are not an explosive offensive team, scoring 30 or more points only once this season. A practical expectation would be around 27 points from Los Angeles, with New Orleans barely scraping double digits. This game has all the signs of a methodical, defensive struggle that stays quiet on the scoreboard. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Las Vegas Raiders. The Jacksonville Jaguars, sitting at 4-3-0, will look to regroup as they travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders on Sunday. Both teams are coming off a bye week and searching for stability after uneven starts to their seasons. Jacksonville's momentum from its thrilling Week 5 comeback against Kansas City has faded fast. After rallying from a 14-point deficit to stun the Chiefs 31-28, the Jaguars dropped their next 2 games to Seattle and Los Angeles. They head into this matchup following a rough 35-7 loss to the Rams in London. Outside of rookie wide receiver Travis Hunter scoring his first career touchdown, there were few positives to take away from that outing. Earlier in the season, the Jaguars' offense showed promise, scoring 26 points against San Francisco and 31 against Kansas City. Over the last 2 contests, though, they managed only 19 combined points, exposing inconsistency on that side of the ball. The Raiders, now 2-5-0, have endured struggles of their own. They began the season with a surprising road win over New England, but have since dropped 5 of their last 6 games. Their offense has been one of the least effective units in the league, scoring 6 total points across their last 2 defeats. Their most recent outing was a 31-0 shutout loss to the Chiefs in Week 7. Prior to that, they managed to put up 20 points in a home win over Tennessee, one of their few bright spots this season. Quarterback Geno Smith has had difficulty generating momentum, throwing for fewer than 200 yards in 4 of his last 6 starts after opening the year with 362 passing yards against New England. These teams last met late last season at Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders won 19-14. That game featured a different pair of starting quarterbacks, with Mac Jones under center for Jacksonville and Aiden O'Connell for Las Vegas. This time around, Trevor Lawrence leads the Jaguars' offense after posting a season-high 296 passing yards against the Rams. Despite the yardage, his accuracy dipped as he completed under half of his attempts at 47.9%. The Raiders have been unreliable when catching points, as their last 4 losses as underdogs came by margins of 31, 34, 17, and 11. Jacksonville, coming off 2 losses against strong National Football Conference West opponents, enters this matchup in a good position to rebound against a weaker Las Vegas team. As our first pick for this matchup, the Jacksonville Jaguars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. From a totals perspective, both teams have leaned toward the under lately. The Raiders have hit the under in 3 straight games, scoring a combined 26 points during that stretch. Before that, they put up 24 points in back-to-back matchups against Chicago and Washington, but have since struggled to sustain drives, culminating in their shutout at Kansas City. Jacksonville has also seen its last 2 games fall below the projected total. The Jaguars scored 31 points in their Week 5 win over Kansas City, but only 19 combined points in the 2 losses that followed. In 3 road appearances this season, Jacksonville has allowed an average of 29 points per game, and the under has hit in 2 of those contests. Their 2 true road games, at Cincinnati and San Francisco, each went over their respective totals of 49.5 and 46. The Raiders, on the other hand, have mixed results at home. They scored 3 touchdowns in a loss to the Bears, but only managed 2 total touchdowns combined in home games against the Chargers and Titans. As underdogs this season, Las Vegas holds a 4-1-0 record to the under and has given up 20 points or fewer in 2 of its 3 home games. Last season's matchup between these teams closed with a total of 41.5 and stayed under, with the Raiders winning 19-14 in a game featuring 2 backup quarterbacks. For this week's meeting, the total has risen to 44.5. Since last season, Jacksonville has gone 4-1-0 to the over in Trevor Lawrence's last 5 true road games, suggesting some potential for scoring improvement. The Jaguars' passing attack should be able to find success against the Raiders' secondary, which has been inconsistent. At the same time, Jacksonville's defense has shown vulnerability in recent weeks, leaving room for Las Vegas to contribute enough to push the total higher. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Chiefs versus Buffalo Bills. Two of the American Football Conference's premier franchises will square off once again as the Kansas City Chiefs visit the Buffalo Bills on Sunday at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. These teams have developed a fierce rivalry in recent seasons, marked by several high-stakes games that have gone down to the wire. Since 2021, Buffalo has won all 4 regular season meetings, while Kansas City has taken all 3 postseason matchups. The Bills enter this game with renewed confidence following a dominant 40-9 road win over Carolina last week as 7.5-point favorites. That victory snapped a 2-game losing streak and marked Buffalo's first cover in 5 outings. Running back James Cook carried the load, rushing for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns, while quarterback Josh Allen added 2 rushing scores of his own. The defense also made its presence felt, holding the Panthers to single digits for the first time this season. Kansas City continues to look sharp and balanced, having won all 5 of its games this year by at least 13 points. Their most recent performance was a 28-7 win over Washington on Monday night, where they comfortably covered as 10-point favorites. During their current 3-game win streak, the Chiefs have surrendered just 24 total points, with 17 of those coming in a single contest against Detroit. Patrick Mahomes has been in rhythm, throwing 3 touchdowns in each of the last 3 games while completing nearly 74% of his passes. Last season, the Bills beat the Chiefs 30-23 in their regular season matchup at home, despite another strong outing from Mahomes. The postseason rematch in the American Football Conference Championship proved just as competitive, with Kansas City holding on for a 32-29 win. Each of the 3 playoff meetings between these teams in recent years has been decided by 6 points or fewer. Buffalo has also shown it can perform as an underdog, winning outright in its only such opportunity this year with a 41-40 comeback win over Baltimore in Week 1. The Chiefs, on the other hand, have struggled a bit against the number away from Arrowhead, going 1-2-0 against the spread on the road, including outright defeats to the Chargers and Jaguars. The Chiefs appear to be rounding into familiar form, executing well on both sides of the ball and showing the poise of a team comfortable under pressure. The Bills have had difficulty clearing the Chiefs' hurdle in the postseason, but in regular season meetings, they have held their own and then some. This contest will mark only the 4th time since 2021 that Buffalo enters as a home underdog, and they have won outright in each of the last 4 occasions. Meanwhile, Kansas City has failed to cover in 5 of its last 8 road games as a favorite. 4 of the last 5 matchups between these 2 teams have been decided by 4 points or fewer, underscoring how evenly matched they are. As our first pick for this matchup, the Buffalo Bills to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both meetings last season between these American Football Conference heavyweights cleared the total. In the regular season game in Buffalo, the Bills won 30-21 after a late touchdown run by Josh Allen pushed the score past the 47.5 total. The postseason rematch in Kansas City also went over, as the Chiefs held off the Bills 32-29 on a 49 total, with the over hitting well before the final whistle. This year, Kansas City is 2-1-0 to the over in road games, including one that sailed past the total in a loss at Jacksonville. Overall, the Chiefs sit at 5-3-0 to the under this season, with the defense tightening up and allowing only 7 points across the last 2 contests. Buffalo, on the other hand, is 4-3-0 to the over, including a 3-1-0 over record at Highmark Stadium, where they have scored at least 31 points in 3 of 4 home games. Recent meetings between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen have consistently delivered high-scoring affairs. Across the last 4 games, Allen has thrown 5 touchdown passes, while Mahomes has thrown 7. Both teams currently rank inside the top 5 in total yards per game, and Buffalo leads the league in rushing yards per game at 164.4. Defensively, both sides remain strong, with the Bills ranking 2nd in passing yards allowed per game and the Chiefs close behind. In games with a total of 50 or more points, Buffalo has gone 2-1-0 this season, while Kansas City finished under in its lone such contest against Detroit on a 52.5 total. The Bills have faced only one quarterback ranked in the top 15 in passing yards this season, New England's Drake May. This week, they'll face a much tougher challenge in Mahomes, who ranks 2nd in the NFL with 2,099 passing yards. Kansas City's recent defensive numbers may be a bit misleading, as their last 2 opponents, Washington and Las Vegas, have fielded subpar offenses. Historically, when these 2 teams share the field, the game rarely stays quiet. The over has hit in 3 straight head-to-head meetings, with an average combined total of 54 points. This season, Kansas City sits at 4-4-0 to the over, scoring 28 or more points in 5 consecutive games. Buffalo matches that mark with 4-4-0 to the over in 8 games and 30 or more points scored in 6 of those contests. The track record between these two teams suggests fireworks once again, with both offenses more than capable of lighting up the scoreboard. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Seattle Seahawks versus Washington Commanders. The Seattle Seahawks and Washington Commanders will face off Sunday at Northwest Stadium in a matchup that carries weight for both teams' playoff aspirations. Each enters this contest with very different trajectories, and the contrast between their current states could not be more apparent. The Commanders come into the week surrounded by questions and outside noise. After their 28-7 loss to Kansas City on Monday night, the national spotlight has shifted toward Washington's growing list of injuries and fading postseason hopes. A year ago, quarterback Jaden Daniels was the talk of the league, calm and composed even under postseason pressure. This season has told a different story. A string of injuries, including multiple setbacks for Daniels himself, has disrupted rhythm and momentum across the roster. Last week's performance underscored the team's current struggles. Washington managed only 260 total yards of offense and 14 first downs, converting on just one of 2 red zone trips. The offense could not sustain drives, leaving the defense overexposed as Kansas City controlled possession for more than 34 minutes. The situation worsened on the injury front. Kicker Matt Gay continues to battle back problems. All-Pro lineman Laramie Tunsil exited the game with a hamstring issue, and wide receiver Terry McLaurin remains limited by quad discomfort despite returning to play. Head coach Dan Quinn stated that Daniels is expected to practice on Wednesday, but his exact availability for Sunday remains uncertain. The stakes are high. Sitting on the brink of another loss streak, the Commanders could find themselves at 3-7-0 if they fail to win their next 2 home games against Seattle and Detroit. Both matchups will likely see them as underdogs, and the team is well aware that time is running short. Seattle, meanwhile, emerges from its bye week with a clean bill of health and renewed energy. According to Pro Football Focus, the Seahawks rank as the second best overall team in the league, supported by the number 2 offense and number 7 defense. They are one of the most balanced teams in football, with no major injuries reported and key defenders Devin Witherspoon and Julian Love both trending toward full participation. The offense has become one of the most efficient in the league, ranking in the top 5 overall and leading the NFL with 9 yards per pass attempt. Still, this is the kind of matchup where urgency can level the field. Desperate teams often deliver their best performances when their season hangs in the balance, and by all accounts, Daniels is on track to play. Many of Washington's injured players are improving, and the Commanders begin an extended home stretch that runs through early December. With the comfort of their home field and the knowledge that their margin for error has disappeared, this shapes up as a crucial opportunity for a proud roster to fight back into relevance. As our first pick for this matchup, the Washington Commanders to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. From a totals perspective, Seattle remains unpredictable. Through 7 games, the Seahawks are 4-3-0 to the over, reflecting their balanced approach on both sides of the ball. Even in matchups where the over hit, they did not necessarily face elite offenses, with wins over Pittsburgh, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and Houston contributing to those totals. Despite that, their offensive efficiency continues to impress. Quarterback Sam Darnold has found his footing in Seattle's system, delivering consistent play and ranking 8th in passing yards per game at 244.4. What makes this more impressive is that the Seahawks call pass plays on just over half of their snaps, ranking near the bottom of the league in frequency. This measured approach has produced one of the most efficient attacks in football, ranking 3rd in yards per play and 4th in points per play. Washington's defense, however, has struggled to contain explosive plays. The Commanders rank 29th in opponent yards per play at 5.9 and have had difficulty inside the red zone, giving up touchdowns on over 64% of opposing drives within the 20. This mismatch could determine the flow of Sunday's contest. Ultimately, the total hinges on how Washington performs offensively, as Seattle's scoring ability is not in question. The Seahawks' defense ranks inside the top 10 across most categories and sits 3rd in opponent yards per play at 4.7. Yet, the gap between these teams is narrower than statistics suggest. If Jaden Daniels returns at full strength, the Commanders have the tools to compete and move the ball effectively, much like they did in Week 5 when they shocked the Chargers with a 27-point outing and 7.1 yards per play. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.